Hey, it's Andrew Klavan. I have to talk about this show, Ashley Madison, Sex, Lies, and Scandal, that has been a smash hit. It's a 3-part documentary. It's been a smash hit on Netflix. This is about the Ashley Madison agency that was there to match up people, and still is there, to match up people who want to commit adultery. This is brought to you by ExpressVPN. You can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN free at expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show. I use it. You should be using it too. So this is a Canadian company, Ashley Madison. I don't know, maybe people don't remember it. It was in the news back, and it was launched in 2002. And its slogan was, "Life is short, have an affair." And it was there to hook people up, just like any dating site, but it was there to hook married people up with other married people. So this documentary is interesting because it follows this whole system of how this thing grew up, and it talks to the people, some of the people who controlled it, who built it. Everybody is a miserable slime bag in the entire thing. They're all dishonest, kind of making excuses for the things they did. Just absolutely. And on top of it all is the news media, which is intercut, who are kind of, taking this scolding attitude toward it, but are also promoting it. They're out also making sure everybody knows it's there. So there's one big system of dishonesty. And it follows this one couple specifically more than anybody else. And of course, they picked a Christian couple because you want to defame Christians, but also because their story, I got to admit, is a really good one. So this is a guy named Sam Rader, right? And Sam is very good at wrapping himself around with Christian talk, Christianese, what they call it, and psychobabble to explain the fact that he's slime. He talks about how he grew up, and I'm just talking about morally, I don't know him personally, but he talks about growing up.
But one of the movies that came out when I was younger was Big Fish. Edward Bloom, played amazingly by Ewan McGregor. And one of the best scenes in that movie is like the big scenes where he confesses his dying love to this girl. He turns around and he looks up to the window and he says, "Sandra Templeton, I love you and I will marry you." And that was one of the most influential movies for me. The falling in love aspect, I was just so drawn to.
The reason this is so great is this movie, Big Fish, which I saw shortly after my father died. It's a good movie about a guy and his father, because the father is a liar and he's always telling these great big stories about his life that don't make any sense, including the one you just looked at. But what it turns out to be is the father that was the way he lived his life. He lived his life as if it were a big thing. And what the son comes to understand is that he wasn't really a liar. He was a fabulist who was just communicating his love of life to the son. So it's very moving about the ways we find out that our fathers are flawed and the way we forgive them. But basically, he's looking at a movie fiction about a guy who lies, and he's basing his life on a lying story told within a fiction, which is a kind of lie, and he's basing his life on that. So he's got this imaginary thing, and then he meets this girl, Nia, a nice Christian girl, and he plays out the story that he learned in this movie.
I was 24 and Nia was 20 years old when we got married. She really was my everything.
I loved our early days of our marriage. I got pregnant pretty quickly, and so that, things started to change and shift a little bit, but with that comes also a lot of excitement.
Oh my gosh, did she just wake up?
Yeah. I loved being a dad. I loved my children, crazy about them. It was a beautiful life, but it was also just like this sudden inundation of responsibilities.
So when the dream gets overrun by reality, the responsibilities, he's got to pay the debts, he's got to make sure his kid doesn't starve. I remember that feeling if there's a baby, oh no, what do I do with this thing? I remember that feeling. He's done. He starts, this is the way he's telling the story, remember. He then signs on to Ashley Madison and starts communicating with the girls who are on Ashley Madison. But what happens then is absolutely amazing. The movie Frozen comes out, and Sam and Nia start to love the movie, and they start to lip sync one of the songs. The video of this goes absolutely viral, and Disney includes them in a special, and they become huge Christian vloggers. And this is Sam's relationship to that.
The infidelity desires kind of just stopped. And during that period of time, I deleted Ashley Madison. But I was still carrying all these secrets. My intentions were to keep them to myself until my death, that nobody would know about them except the people that were involved. And I was going to be taking this to my grave.
So now he's living in his life a lie, but now he's living the lie online, right? Because he's cheating on his wife, but pretending, he stops cheating on his wife, but he was cheating on his wife, pretending to be this Christian happy family. The wife she likes it. It's kind of touching because she likes it because now he's paying attention to her. He was quote unquote working nights and not paying enough attention to her, but now he's filming her all the time. So what she says is, I was happy because I wasn't in the kitchen by myself. I was happy because he was paying attention. You can see her, she lights up, because he's saying, oh, you look beautiful, you're going to be perfect and all this stuff. This guy who's like living from a fantasy into a fantasy, into now selling his fantasy to the world, which is life in America to me in a nutshell, right? We worship actors who play police and we treat the police like crap. We pay an actor $250,000. An actor who's never done a damn thing for anybody, doesn't even call his mother on Sundays. You pay him $250,000 a week to play a cop who goes and sacrifices himself to protect other people, and then we treat the cops, oh, you guys are racist, you're terrible, we stink. That's America to me. It's all, the fantasy is real, the reality is not real. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like walking your dog in public without securing him on a leash. Most of the time, you'll probably be fine, but what if one day your dog runs away? It's better to be careful, especially when it's as simple as using ExpressVPN. Every time you connect to an unencrypted network in cafes, hotels, airports, your online data is not secured. Any hacker on the same network can gain access and steal your personal data. What I love about ExpressVPN is how they create a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet to keep your data secure. It also has a built-in password manager to ensure protection goes beyond passwords. You can safely store notes, passwords, and credit card information. ExpressVPN works on all your devices, including your phone, laptop, tablet, and even your smart TV. To get protected, fire up the app and click one button. ExpressVPN has changed the game for internet security. If you haven't downloaded the app, you're allowing your data to be targeted. Right now, you'll get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN free at expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show. expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show. That's expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show. So now the guy's famous, he's happy, and she's happy, and then Ashley Madison gets hacked. It's just amazing. You should watch the show. I don't want you to put you off watching the show because it's well done. It's salacious and all that stuff, but it's still really entertaining. All the names are leaked. This guy's name starts to come out on Twitter, and he realizes he's got to do something, so he comes clean and he says to his wife, I was on Ashley Madison, but I never had an affair. I was just communicating with these girls. I was doing something wrong. It was really bad, but I never actually cheated on you. And they put out a video where she forgives him because he never cheated on her. And they put out a video showing their audience, their huge Christian audience, that this is Christianity in action.
This was brought to my wife's attention. She has forgiven me for this mistake that I made in opening the account. I've sought forgiveness to God, and He's forgiven me. So I've been completely cleansed of this sin. And also, I need to be clear that I've never met with a single person face to face through that website, and that I never had an affair with anybody ever while I've been married with Nia.
Now, obviously, I don't have to tell you what happens next. It's all crap. Not only did he have affairs on Ashley Madison, he had affairs before Ashley Madison. He was going to massage clubs. He was going to strip clubs. He was making passes at his wife's friends, his wife's best friend. He was trying to get into the sack with her, but they're still together. Even after all this has come out, they are still together. They're still putting out videos. Here is the kicker. The entire site is fake. The way they got money out of people is these guys would sign up to have an affair and they put their profile online, and you could even pick out, this is one of the things that was so humiliating when they got hacked. You could say, oh, what I like is to, spank people, whatever they're doing. And then you get an email. And the email says, hi, I'm kind of shy, but I kind of liked your profile. And it's a bot. It's nobody. And when you respond, it may not be a bot, but it's one of the women, like the, dowdy secretaries working there, responding because they know what men like to hear. Now, I don't know what would happen because some guys had real women. I don't know if they were escorts or not. But even the guy who's running the place is doing ads with his wife and saying, we're happily married, we're monogamous, but we think that people can have an affair if they want to. He's cheating on her. Everything is fake. This is a woman named Claire Brownell. She's a journalist. She's out of it. She's a journalist who covers this, and here's her description of it.
The bot profile lines read like a male fantasy of how you would want the women on the site to talk to you. Women were the product, but mostly the fantasy of the idea of women was the product. an average male user of Ashley Madison was talking into the void to these fake bots, racking up hundreds of dollars worth of credit card bills and risking his marriage to do it. It paints a pretty sad picture.
Amazingly, the site is still up. They say they're doing better than ever. So a lot of people pretending to be faithful are pretending to cheat with bots pretending to be women, and then they're pretending to forgive each other for things they pretended they never did. It is America in a nutshell. Everything is Ashley Madison. It's really worthwhile. I highly recommend this only if you want to see the depth of corruption in our system of fantasy, which is how most of us now experience life. We're on the phones all the time. And the key to life in America, truly, is breaking free and living in reality without falling into somebody else's fantasy, without some guys telling you, oh yeah, the earth is really flat. And you go, I knew I was being lied to. You are being lied to, but you're still just being lied to again. There's lies within lies within lies. You have to make your way on your own to get to reality. If you'd like to have an affair with a bot pretending to be me, like and subscribe, and I'll pretend to be there. And also subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.